In this video, I'm going to show you the 2 things that are hiding in your food that is stopping you getting results that you need to be aware of. And I think the second one might be the most important one. Now, you've probably heard this one before about oil, like the virgin olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, and all of these different other ones that are carcinogenic and really, really bad for you, rapeseed oil, for example. But why is that something that all fitness people are speaking about when it comes to getting in shape? You've got the health camp that will speak about oils and the benefits of healthy fats. Then you'll speak to people like myself who'll be like, maybe you want to avoid oils. What's the difference between that? The thing with oil is that they have amazing health benefits to the degree of whichever one you choose. But the major premise of why you're watching this video or why you watch anyone's advice is not always from a health perspective in mind. You've probably got belly fat or arm fat or back fat that you want to lose. And that's different than being healthy. There's something called the health halo, which I've done videos about, but I'm just going to explain it here briefly. Health halo is when we say that things are healthy and we forget about the calories in that. And then we get disappointed that we haven't lost weight because we've said something is healthy and we've nullified it from being something that we hold ourselves accountable to. A handful of apple is healthy, or teaspoon of olive oil is healthy, or brown rice is healthy. And then we forget that the fact that all food has carbons and it's all got calories. And if you eat too many calories of whatever, you're going to not get the results that you want to get. So if you're looking at oils being in your food, if you're putting in, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, or you're doing this on top of your food, or even onto a pan, you're adding calories that you're not considering you're eating, which will be slowing down your results if you're tracking or you're managing the rest of your day. I got an interesting story. So I had a client who had face-to-face when I was a personal trainer back when I was a wee young lad in my early 20s. I had this scenario where he was a Lebanese dude and loved olive oil, the usual Lebanese food, which is incredible. And he wasn't losing weight, and he was coming to me to lose 20 kilos. And we had a bit of a downward trend. And then after a few weeks, his weight just plateaued. And I was like, dude, what's going on? He's like, I'm doing everything you said. I'm having my tuna and this and that and other. And I was like, okay, that's interesting, because you normally don't lose a plateau. Normally body weight keep on going down. There's no reason for it to stop if you're doing the right things. And then I asked him a simple question, which was like, oh, are you adding olive oil to the food? And he's like, of course, I'm Lebanese. I add olive oil to everything. And I'm like, okay, tell me in hand gestures how much you're putting on top of your meals. And he did this. And at that point, I said, oh, maybe we want to stop that. And I explained to him the amount of calories that was in olive oil at 120 calories per tablespoon. Next week, he lost 2 kilos. I didn't change anything else. And then for the next 8 weeks, he continues to lose another 15 kilos from that one particular change, because we don't understand and underestimate the impact that butter, ghee, olive oil, and oils have on the calories. And you might be like, Nathan, but yeah, I need to line the plan. Get a non-stick pan. Use an air fryer. Use spray light, which is 1 calorie spray. And if you are part of the cultural dynamics where I get all of the time where it's like, Nathan, but I can taste the difference between butter and ghee and olive oil and not having it, and my husband doesn't like it, then utilize an amount that is structured within your day. Don't just throw it in there because hubby wants a nice buttered chicken with ghee. You can have the buttered chicken, but just make sure that the ghee is enough for him to not complain, but also enough for you to understand how you can control it, because that's going to be really important. And it's been too many times where I sat here for 10 years and thought about how do I help people, and it always comes down to they don't understand the oils, the butters and the ghees and how many calories are in those particular foods. And that's not even included when you're at a restaurant, because you don't even see it. And the second most important thing that you need to realize that is hiding in your food, all of your food, is calories. No shit, Sherlock. But most of you act like there isn't calories in certain foods because you forget and you justify things. So I want to just talk about this. Most people will have this conversation and you ask your friend, hey, what did you have for dinner? Or did you have a snack? Or did you have these particular things during the day? And there's always these little things during the day that most people will have, right? Pick-me-ups, a cheeky takeaway, a late night biscuit, a well done treat for the weekend, treats in general. When we use these words, treats, stress, pick-me-ups, late night this, a little bonus, we nullify the accountability of those calories, because we're telling ourselves, oh, it's a treat, or oh, it's a pick-me-up. They still have food in, they still have calories, and they cost you results if you eat them. And it's an emotional rationalization that comes from the premise that you're using food as a way to feel better, or gain more energy, or gain mood. But let's just break down this for a second. Everyone says that they want to pick me up at 11, right? When you ingest that food at 11, whatever it is, it's got at least 30 to 40 minutes to be digested until it's going to be digested for you to be utilized as energy. Which means when you've got a window between 11 and 11:45, you instantly feel better from food, yet it's not been digested, which means that all of the eating and all of the mood, all of the energy that you're getting is perceived in the brain because you've eaten, not because it's been digested, which means your brain is feeling better without their presence of food in your body, which means that all of the things around the pick-me-ups and the cheeky treats, they're all psychological benefits rather than physical, because they happen straight away, not 45 minutes like the digestion would suggest. So we need to change those behaviors of pick-me-ups, change the pick-me-up and swap it out for something that's calorie controlled or something that doesn't have calories in. Diet Coke is your perfect example. If you pick your treat or your late night biscuit or your late night snack, calorie control. Use our frame with our Autonomy clients, which is the swaps, which is 300 calories in the evening of whatever you really want, as long as it's 300 calories. But what we need to think about is that there's always food, there's always calories, and it's just how you think about it that determines if you do something about it. So if we know that it's not physical with all of these pick-me-ups, and we know that it's just psychological, we can start making those changes to swap things out and get the boost that we need, but not with the 300, 400 calorie snacks at some point. Make small adjustments to make sure from an oil perspective, you got a reduction of calories and you're not just randomly putting food in there. And then from a snack, treat, calorie perspective, you're considering that all food is calories, and we need to assume that we need to make changes by eating these.